Long been one of WWE's most physically dominant superstars, blending size, agility, and technical skill to establish himself as a top-tier competitor. Known for his resilience, fighting spirit, and charisma, McIntyre is a veteran who thrives in high-stakes matchups, often elevating his opponents while leaving a lasting impression on fans. Jacob Fatu, a powerhouse with a reputation for sheer brutality and dominance, is one of the most feared competitors in the modern wrestling scene. His combination of raw strength, calculated aggression, and in-ring psychology has allowed him to overcome some of WWE's toughest adversaries, creating an aura of unstoppable momentum around his persona. The rivalry between McIntyre and Fatu has been simmering for weeks. Previous promos, tag encounters, and in-ring confrontations had built tension between the two athletes. McIntyre's strategic, methodical style contrasted sharply with Fatu's high-impact, aggressive approach. The WWE Universe was aware that when these two titans finally clashed, sparks would fly, both figuratively and literally. The stage, SmackDown's backstage area. Before the match officially began, cameras captured Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu backstage, preparing for their in-ring confrontation. The atmosphere was electric. WWE personnel and fellow superstars gathered, sensing the intensity of the moment and the inevitable confrontation. McIntyre was calm, yet focused, adjusting his gear and mentally preparing for the physical test ahead. Fatu, on the other hand, exuded raw energy, pacing and radiating intensity that suggested he was ready to strike at a moment's notice. Both men knew that the match would be about more than just skill. It would be about dominance, pride, and proving who deserved to control SmackDown's competitive landscape. The brawl begins. Sparks fly. Backstage. The tension escalated quickly. What began as a heated exchange of words between McIntyre and Fatu turned into a physical altercation within seconds. McIntyre launched the first offensive maneuver, a powerful shoulder strike that demonstrated his strength and experience. Fatu countered immediately, using his size and aggression to push McIntyre against the walls of the backstage corridor. The WWE cameras captured every moment, objects being knocked over, guards attempting to intervene, and the raw expressions of intensity and determination on both superstars' faces. The brawl was chaotic, but controlled enough to ensure that no serious injuries occurred. Yet it perfectly conveyed the animosity between the two competitors. Drew McIntyre: "I didn't come here to play games, Fatu." Jacob Fatu: "Step into the ring and I'll finish this properly." The dialogue highlighted the personal stakes. This was more than a match. It was a battle of egos, pride, and dominance, with both men determined to prove their superiority. Backstage reactions: shock and awe. The intensity of the altercation sent ripples throughout the WWE locker room. Fellow superstars, producers, and crew members watched in awe, recognizing that the backstage brawl was a rare glimpse of two athletes pushing each other to their limits before an official match. Insiders reported that the segment was designed to elevate both McIntyre and Fatu, showing the WWE Universe that the match would be as physically and emotionally charged as the brawl indicated. Many backstage observers noted the chemistry between the competitors, praising their ability to convey conflict, tension, and athletic prowess without escalating into real danger. A WWE insider commented, "Drew and Jacob brought raw intensity to that backstage segment." You could feel the electricity. It wasn't just for show. It set the perfect stage for what the fans were about to see in the ring, the psychology building anticipation. One of the most compelling aspects of the backstage brawl was its psychological impact. By engaging in a pre-match altercation, both McIntyre and Fatu sent a clear message to the WWE Universe. This was not going to be a conventional match. The segment highlighted the stakes, reinforced the competitive tension, and built anticipation for the in-ring confrontation. Fans watching at home could feel the drama intensifying, knowing that the physicality and aggression shown backstage would almost certainly carry over into the ring. It created a narrative layer, emphasizing that McIntyre and Fatu were not just opponents, but warriors with a personal score to settle. Fan reaction, social media buzz. The WWE Universe reacted immediately to the backstage segment. Clips of McIntyre and Fatu brawling were shared across social media, with fans expressing excitement, shock, and curiosity. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu just tore backstage apart. I need this match now. This isn't just a fight, this is a war waiting to happen. SmackDown just raised the stakes with that brawl. Can't wait to see them in the ring. Hashtags like hashtag McIntyre vs Fatu, hashtag SmackDown Chaos, and hashtag WWE Backstage Brawl quickly trended, reflecting the global engagement and anticipation generated by the segment. Implications for future storylines. The Backstage Brawl opens multiple possibilities for WWE storytelling. In-ring rematch or escalation. The physical intensity of the backstage confrontation suggests that the in-ring match could involve no disqualifications, stipulations, or extreme rules to reflect the animosity. Factional involvement. Allies of McIntyre or Fatu could intervene, potentially escalating the conflict into a multi-man feud or factional war. Long-term rivalry. The personal nature of the brawl hints at a storyline that could span months, culminating in high-profile pay-per-view matches such as Survivor Series 2025 or WrestleMania 42. The WWE creative team has multiple avenues to explore, ensuring that fans remain invested in the unfolding saga. The emotional core. Pride and power. Beyond physicality, the brawl conveyed an emotional narrative. McIntyre's focus and discipline reflected his pride, resilience, and desire to prove himself as a dominant force. Fatu's aggression and raw power demonstrated his hunger for supremacy and unwillingness to yield to any challenger. This clash of personalities and styles, calculated strategy versus unrelenting force, created a storyline rich in tension, drama, and audience investment. Fans were not just watching a fight, they were witnessing the collision of two powerful characters, each with a personal stake in victory.